Oseo,
Oseo.
the Cherokee greeting, and wave the great feather for the good of it. And also today we're in India, so it's a namaste. That's where we start, namaste. Last week, my feature was the speech of Deb Haaland, Secretary of the Interior, and the slogan for the Kamala Harris campaign is, "When we fight, we win." And Deb Haaland definitely picked up on that as the Native American, and her speech was in the style I call the warrior tone, Ohitaka, meaning fierce, and it was quick, like the flight of an arrow. And towards the end of that flight of the arrow, she actually pronounced, keep up the good work and work fiercely for Kamala. And that gave her speech the warrior signature for that. So continue with that. I'm titling this one, Kamala Durga, the Warrior Woman. So we go down here and look at this picture here. This is actually a Hindu, we would call it a holy picture. And we've had it up here in our altar for years, like that. And the name Kamala Devi is her. This is the very image of Kamala Devi, which means she is on her lotus. And here, this face, I just cut this out of today's newspaper, which was referring to the debate between her and Donald last night. So this is a very fresh photo of her here in this whole image of Kamala Devi. She is on her lotus. Then we come up here to this Hindu banner. This is Durga, and I'm going to read to you how she comes about. So you can see she is holding many implements and weapons, and she's riding a tiger. So this is a very significant picture from India. The remarkable resemblance of the current event in the United States of Kamala Devi Harris and Donald Trump. They are actors in an ancient myth in India that is Durga. We'll say Kamala is Durga and Donald is Mahisha. Mahisha is usually characterized as, quote, the Titan buffalo. And then I have to have a little bit of give you a little bit of translation. The name Devi is from the phoneme in India, div, div, meaning to shine. So Devi is, shining bright. And Deva, and that would be called goddess in English. Deva would be called God, and that is the masculine form of Devi. And then following that is the word Asura. Asura means not a Deva. And Mahisha in this play is an Asura, like that. An Asura, well, in English is being translated as demon, but that sounds very final, whereas actually in India, the Asura can change and can become, at least a notable, if not a Deva, but it's not permanent. So that is, relative, in this. And then there's the serpents, which I'll follow up. Naga. Naga in India is the name for serpent, snake, and like that. I like the Greek word ophis, and so forth. So that's gets us started here. And so we'll watch Durga while I'm reading this narrative that's titled Durga's triumph. Durga, the most splendid manifestation of Devi, virginal and sublime, containing within her the power of all the devas combined. She is the invincible power of nature who triumphs over those who seek to subjugate her. This is her sacred narrative. The first chapter, March of the Buffalo Demon. The buffalo demon Mahisha stomped across the three worlds, kicking up dust, polluting earth and sea. Neither Indra, king of the gods, nor Kamala, commander of the celestial armies, could stop him. Even Shiva, when he opened his third eye and unleashed the fire of doom, even this dreaded missile, capable of destroying three worlds, could not arrest Mahima's march. Rise of the Shaktis. Nothing can stop Mahisha now. He will soon control the universe and make nature dance to his tunes. It will never be so. Nature can never be conquered, says Shakti Brahmi. Simultaneously, the Shaktis, who are the female energies, emerge, taking female form. Indrani bearing a thunderbolt, riding on an elephant. Kumari holding a lance, riding a peacock. Vaishnavi on an eagle with a discus whirling on her finger. Narashimi, a raging lioness. Varahi, the sharp-tusked sow. And Shivani, riding a bull bearing a trident. Durga manifests herself. The seven Shaktis, unrestrained, were fearsome beings, the unbridled, untamed, restless energies of the cosmos. They would not submit to the authority of any man, beast, or deva, let alone a demon. They rose into the sky and merged with each other in a blinding light. The sound of conches, drums, and bells filled the air. From the heavenly light rose a beautiful deva, seductive yet serene, maternal yet forbidding. Who are you? Asked the devas. I am Durga. I am unconquerable. I am the inaccessible one. I am Prakriti, the substance that gives form and identity to all things. I am Shakti, the power that enables creatures to exist. I am Maya, the delusion that makes life alluring yet elusive. The devas then saluted her, and she said, "Give me your weapons and I shall destroy Mahisha, who seeks to dominate me," Durga declared. Then, mounting her tiger, Durga prepared for battle. News of Durga, the beautiful Devi who resides atop a mountain, reached Mahisha. "She shall be my queen," declared the buffalo demon. He ordered his generals to fetch her. They rushed to Mount Meru and placed Mahisha's offer of marriage before Durga. When she did not reply, the Asuras threatened her with violence, and she responded by swinging her sword, and one sweep she cut off both of their heads. Now they, the Devas, all named this amazing warrior woman, Durga, the fierce one. The armies of Mahisha. The violent rejection of his marriage enraged Mahisha. "Bring that proud woman before me in chains, and I will teach her who is master." 100,000 Asuras armed with bows, arrows, spears, and swords surrounded Mount Meru, determined to capture Durga. But as they marched up the hill, the Devi hurled her missiles. Before long, 100,000 demon heads were seen rolling down the mountains, smearing its slopes red. Then she, seizing a lute and drum, she made music to celebrate her victory. This is the death of Mahisha. Humiliated in defeat, Mahisha then declared to her, "Why won't you marry me? Am I not the Lord of the three worlds?" She said, "I will marry only someone who can defeat me in battle. Then let us fight." A great battle commenced. Mountains shook, oceans trembled, clouds scattered across the sky as the buffalo demon attacked Durga. He rushed toward her, sometimes as a buffalo, sometimes as a lion, sometimes as an elephant. She broke the buffalo's horn, sheared the lion's mane, and cut off the elephant's trunk. Weapon upon weapon she hurled at the buffalo demon, but each time he managed to rise up undefeated. Realizing that her weapons had no effect on Mahisha, Durga threw them aside and dismounted off her tiger, and with her bare hands jumped on Mahisha's back, and with her tender feet she kicked him in the head. Well, that did it. Immune to all the weapons of all the devas, now he fell senseless at the touch of Durga's feet. Durga then raised her spear and plunged it into the buffalo demon's heart. The devas all descended from their celestial abode and saluted Durga, praising her. From beneath the earth rose the forest spirits, the yakshas and the nagas. They all offered her flowers and incense. They exclaimed, "Stay with us, protect us, don't leave us." Then said Durga, "I am always with you. I am the mother who feeds you, the sister who supports you, the daughter who charms you. I am the heat of fire, the movement of wind, the moisture of water, the radiance of sun, the luster of moons, the sparkle of stars, the fecundity of the earth, and the sovereignty of queens and kings. I am the sacred earth, bringing forth and nurturing all plants and animals. My essence is present in every woman. Every woman, like me, are vessels of fertility, sources of love and of life." Okay. We have this wonderful narrative. That was the most complete way to put it across. And if there's any resemblance to current events, you're welcome to them. Now, to say a few things here, all the way over there to these figures, you can see them. These are ancient icons in India. An icon of this nature is called a murti. And they can be holy pictures or figures. And there are two that are alike. And these are called Mahisha Asura Murdini, meaning the dispatchment of Mahisha. And these are very, very old. This one is probably around 400 years old. And this one is around 12th or 13th century. That is very old. And you can see the features, have been pretty much worn off. Now this is amazing. Puja is the word for what we're trying to say, worship here. And that these are worshipped with water or kumkum, red powder, and then it's touched. If you rub it with your fingers, nyasa empowerment through touching the icon like that. So for so long has this been rubbed with fingers and water or powder, it has worn the features very smooth. This ancient one is also interesting because her foot is on the tiger on one hand, and down here at her feet is the head of the buffalo demon. And here she's driving her spear into him. So these two are very ancient figures that have this one that still actually has the remains of the red kumkum powder in it. So it had been venerated even not so long ago like that. And here is an Indian picture of Durga. And over here, this is Devi, and here, you know, these would probably be lotuses. So Lakshmi, which just means the mark of Devi, is probably one of the more powerful manifestations of Devi, and her escort is the white owl, similar to Athena in ancient Greece. But here you have them, and again, all this brightness is the signature of the Devi here. Then I want to come all the way over here to, this is my drawing. And in this drawing I've titled this, you know, Sachi Devi. Sachi by itself is meaning sovereignty, that she is sovereignty like the queen over the kings, or the goddess over the gods, or the Devi over the devas here. So that's one part of her name, and it actually has a story that would correspond to the Durga Mahisha, but I'm not going to go into that. I'm just here want to show you my way of expressing her. And so she's also called Parasakti, meaning she is the supreme power and primal energy and all that. And further, here you see this figure that I've put here. This would be like her Vahana usually. And the name for this is Bhaktara. Bhaktara in this sense is for auspiciousness. Now in India, the Santana Dharma, the way of being a Hindu, is like here in Native America, the Red Road. The Red Road. In India, it's called Marga, Mangala. Marga, Mangala, the way of auspiciousness. And she is, that's who this is, that she is auspicious, she is Mangala. She is the Devi of auspiciousness. Along with auspiciousness, also that would have to be accompanied by Samaya. Samaya means, you know, I might say like initiative, integrity. Integrity. Because you would see, you'd have to have the integrity of your vow in order to access the potency of auspiciousness. So that's what my illustration, my drawing that is expressing her as the auspicious Devi here. To look at this figure right up here, this is a loop of rice grass with a very finely carved Devi in it. This pertains to Kamala Devi, the person, because rice has to be transplanted as a crop. It can't be just throwing seeds in the ground like other crops. So this is a way of this loop of rice grass is that Kamala Devi Harris has been transplanted here to our country, Turtle Island, and she brings joy, she brings happiness, that's what I should say. The other part of Sachi here is Satchitananda. Satchitananda is translated as existence, consciousness, bliss. Those are three words. Sat meaning true, existence, or real. And Chit means, you know, mind, thought, consciousness. And Ananda, bliss, or pure joy. And in Kamala's campaign, the word joy is strongly being pronounced, you know. So that's also Ananda. So the daughters, I'm trying to say that, the daughters of the Devi, they bear her Ananda, they bear her joy. Practically, it is also when a Hindu woman has married into her husband's family, it means that she is bringing into her in-laws, we would call them, the joy of Devi. And then come just down below that here, this is the figure of Manasa. Manasa is the, we'll call her queen of the serpents, queen of the snakes. So this is her mask, there's a snake below her, and here is her murti. This is her icon here that you could have, worship or something like that to her. So if you go all the way over there to the other side, this is my painting of Nagini. And I have it here in this context because she is the primal feminine energy of all of this, And here I'm really bringing her in for this. In India, goes way back, the concern or culture, maybe it's the best word, the culture of the serpent, Naga, that's even there when Buddha has his realizations and so forth. The Naga is the word for the serpents or the snakes, or like the Greek, the ophis here. And that's what I've illustrated here. That she is, the primal power of the feminine that still is very vital in India. There are people, in India there are groups of people that are called tribal people. They're not Hindus, they still have retained their non-Hindu identity. And in one part of India, it's kind of like somewhat in the northeast, there are people who are called Nagas. And so Nagas still is very strong in India. And here in Native America, the only vestige of that are the people called the Hopis. And the Hopis have, we'll call it a snake dance. And I attended that snake dance over there in Second Mesa in Arizona. And there is, a whole relationship that's going on within that clan that carries out this performance. And in that culture, the Hopi culture, they are like farmers, and everything has to do with fertility and rain. And so that seems to be the efficaciousness of the snake dance, because we were there, and in a clear blue sky, it's late in the afternoon, an actual black cloud, just like it was smoke, but it's actually a roundish black cloud appears over us out of the blue sky. And so I do attest to the efficaciousness of the Hopi snake dance. But as far as I know, that's the only vestige still remaining of the serpent of reverence in Native America. Native America is, severely under the throes of a European Christianistic Protestantism, which abhors snakes. All of that. So we can just come back here to Durga. So I can just finish with a chant that I think goes with this. Tawam Iva Mata, to our Universal Mother. Kripa Hum, I feel gratitude. Krita Gyana Hum, I am gratitude. Okay.